A delay is never an ideal thing for a VR game or a game in general, especially since we're eager to get our hands on it, but a delay can also mean a far more polished experience, something without many bugs or glitches, and that's also a very, very good thing for us as consumers. So it can be a double-edged sword with some good things, some bad things, but unfortunately today we have been hit with a delay for Wanderer, the Fragments of Fate. I feel like I've got a bit of deja vu saying that because we have had this message before, and the Wanderer team over at Mighty Eyes share the same sentiment. Now, they posted on Twitter earlier today, "We have some bad news, time travelers, and there's no way to sugarcoat this. We have to delay the game. Large sigh, one more time. We hear you." Again, a time travel game that can't ship on time, how ironic, we know, but trust us, we did not make this decision lightly. We also know it's just another in the spate of VR game delays, and you all just want to get stuck into some epic VR experiences. While we could go into the multitude of reasons for the delay, the truth is, VR development is bloody tough, especially when we're determined to push the boundaries of what's possible with a VR adventure game. We are truly sorry, but we want to make sure we get this right, and we don't want to let you, our players, down. We are getting very close though. This extra time will allow us to fine-tune and polish Wanderer the Fragments of Fate across all platforms, continue to QA and fix bugs, as well as offer day one multi-language support. We know Wanderer the Fragments of Fate is a unique VR adventure and want to ensure the experience is one you'll never forget. We're not going to share our release date just yet. Been there, done that, lessons have certainly been learned, but rest assured that news won't be too far away and this time it's not going to budge. So we ask once again for your patience, kindness and faith. We are hellbent on bringing you an epic time traveling adventure and we aren't giving up on that vision. Sincerely, the team and Mighty Eyes. Now again, this is a very, very familiar announcement from the team. We had this a little while ago. Unfortunately, the game was delayed before, was delayed to, I think it was October 31st it was slated to come out. I did actually say earlier this month with the PSVR2 Games of the Month video that I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a delay because you haven't heard anything in a while. When things go really quiet, especially a couple months before launch, you can usually tell something's off. That was definitely the case here. But I do think that this is obviously a good thing for polish because it shows that the team care. They don't want to push out a rush project that is not going to please players. And I think it shows that maybe they don't have that pressure from, a publisher or any higher up that really wants to push this thing out on time no matter the condition it's in. That bodes well for us as players. I also don't think it's too bad because if the game comes out in, I'm going to say January or February, that puts it after the bulk of VR releases at the end of this year. Sure, that might not be a great thing because you're going to lose out on some Christmas sales, but to be honest, you don't want to get lost in the sea of Metro, Behemoth, Aliens. Now Hitman has been added to that list, Phasmophobia and potentially Ghosts of Tabor. Those are a lot of big PSVR2 games. People only have so much money. All those games combined is already getting into the hundreds of pounds or dollars, and adding on top of that with Wanderer may not be the smartest decision anyway. Obviously that's not the reason why they've done this. They haven't said we need to space it out from other releases, but it does mean that this is no longer kicking off that good stint of polished VR games and exciting VR games. At the end of this year, it's going to be probably capping it off sometime early next year if I had to guess, but I've got no inside information of that. Of course, that's just my own guesswork going on there. If you're not familiar with Wanderer, it is basically a time travel adventure, as they said in that statement. You travel between time periods, you become different people, and you bring objects between time periods to solve puzzles and push the narrative forward. Now, I didn't play the original game. This is a remake from the original game back on PSVR1 that is quite beloved, but was held back by the tech at the time. It's one of the games that I really don't mind getting a remake. One, because I would love games like that on PSVR2 anyway, even if they weren't upgraded and remade. I would just love a port. But luckily, they are fully remaking this to take advantage of the features that PSVR2 has to push forward the visuals and to make it look as good as possible. But yeah, I'm happy that it's going to get some time to breathe, but of course, I like good video games, you like good video games, I want this game as soon as possible, but it's just not the way it's going to be, unfortunately. Now, I do think they do run themselves a risk of trying to spin up that marketing machine again and wearing people out. This is something I've seen touched on by a couple of people on Twitter. I want to say maybe the Virtual Resistance or PSVR2 Fanatic, I think are the two accounts that come to mind. Maybe I might be wrong on that. But they made a good point, which was that when you're essentially trying to market your game and trying to spin up hype in the weeks leading up to its release, as we thought it would be, I think it was September was the initial release date before it got pushed back, and they were trying to spin up hype for it, and they were pushing out a couple trailers, gameplay, and there's only so many times you can really do that and feed your audience those exciting prospects of look at a new trailer, look at a new screenshot or a new still or some new information about how we're using features. That's good, but if you oversaturate that feed towards your audience, you're going to end up burning them out. And I think what they're doing now is the smarter option, which is they're just being quiet until they've got a locked in release date. They say the next one is going to be the last one. They said that last time, so it could always change. But I do think this time they really have learned their lesson and they just want to lock it in, get it done, and hopefully that's that, nothing more. Well, that's a bit of a short one for today, but I just wanted to touch on the delay for Wanderer, what I think about it. There are my thoughts. So what are yours? Please do let me know in the comments down below. There's a new sale on for PSN right now. I'll be covering that tomorrow. That's exciting. A couple games on sale that you might want to look at picking up. So tune in tomorrow for that. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to our patrons and YouTube members: Luke Bentley, Phil Irving, Hazit Mirza, Ace Gamer, Hippie Pickle, Jin 007, A License to Chill, Sun, WTF, Vet Controllers, The Game Cat, Andrew Ehrenreich, Jason Parker, Lamar Hall, Jordy Bansma, Lemon64K, Outcast VR, Prophecy 777, Gundy, Salvador, and David Gerhardt.